Hi, Anti-Society! Welcome back to the Antisocial Planet. Today we are checking out P1Harmony's Stupid Brain, and I love that we're getting videos for all these. I know they're just like lyric videos, but you know what? I will just watch P1Harmony off the cuff being like chaotic and funny, and I don't know if we're gonna get quite as much as we did in Dancing Queen with this one, because I feel like what I think of with a title like Stupid Brain makes me think that we're dealing with some stuff that's going on internally, so maybe it'll be a little bit more of a somber vibe with the video, but I still love that we're getting all these lyric videos. It makes me happy. Having a typewriter is crazy. Are we writing letters? It's a little bit older than the early 2000s that we were getting in the rest of the stuff, but okay. Okay, string section. It sounds like there's like post on it though, so it's a little bit like electric sounding.
Oh me, oh my, I think I'm doing it, I do it again. I think I'm losing it, man. I'm in a room full of all of my friends, and I'm just up in my head, yeah. So worried about the things I say, so worried about this feeling I can't shake. I spend years an indecision with no reason. No, why can't I just stop?
Ooh, okay. I was thinking like with the string section that we were having and a little bit of a, like I was saying, like we writing a letter or like the typewriter a little bit older, but it's giving like almost like old Hollywood soundtrack kind of vibe, especially with the post on those strings and stuff. But then switching into this like really heavy beat pad coming through, which I think is fun for like the contrast of those two things, but also I think leans a little bit more into the pop side of what P1Harmony usually has with their music, like sonically what they go for. And I think it's also interesting given what we're dealing with like lyrically, right? Letting like blessings slide, right? Like saying, oh, all these good things are happening and I can't appreciate it or enjoy it because I'm too stuck in my head. I'm too like living inside of like my own things that are going on, which I think given some of the other stuff that they talked about in their songs, I think is very much when you're struggling with something internally. And it can be, I'm just drawing from like my own experience. It makes me think of like when I go through bouts of like depression and stuff, is that you want to be able to enjoy stuff. You want to be able to just like, keep living your life, and you can't just like be happy instead. You can't just stop when you're in that vibe. Like you can take care of yourself, and prevention is usually a lot better in my case anyway. But then once you find yourself in that place, you just have to push through and get to the other side, which can be very like disheartening. And I've talked about in other videos, but it can sometimes feel like a backslide, right? Like it can feel like you're taking a step back when you've been doing super well, and then something mental health wise comes in and suddenly like you're struggling with like whether that's depression or anxiety or whatever might be going on with you, is that like you can be doing really well and then something like trips you up and it can feel like you've just slid all the way back to the beginning, even though you're not. You're just going through the episodic things that happen. And I think that having something with this really dark beat pad is almost like it's like a heartbeat, like being stuck internally. It's in contrast, like a lighter sound of the strings, right? And it's also like very a grounding sound, right? Having that kind of bassy percussion sound feels very much like you're weighted in place, right? So I think it fits really well with that.
I'm in a room full of all of my friends, and I'm just up in my head, yeah. So worried about the things I say, so worried about this feeling I can't shake. I spend years an indecision with no reason. No,
yeah, feeling like stuck. Beautiful cry there. Ooh, I love the space in that chorus. Like I loved it with, I was thinking with Kyo, because Kyo has such a like smooth voice anyway, that I love that he slows down the pace of the song anyway. It's slow overall, but I think that like his, like the darker tone to his voice, the kind of weight that he has to his voice is already fitting into that feeling of being stuck or like dragging your feet, feeling like you're dragging your feet, right? Because there's like something weighing you down. So having all of that space around the lyrics is really fun. And then also it feels like the sentence isn't ended, right? At the end of this chorus, it feels like there should be more. And it's just like space and music, right? I don't even know what the end of the sentence is supposed to be, because I feel like I'm just like surviving minute to minute as opposed to like actually enjoying my life and like living it, which is sad and heartbreaking. But I like the way that we're delivering it. And like I want to just have a day where I can turn my brain off and it's not getting in my way and I can just live my life. As someone with anxiety and a panic disorder, man, do I wish I could turn my brain off sometimes. It would be wonderful to be able to do that. But even just overthinking things, right? Like it cannot just be like intentionally leaving it open, right? Talking about like living years in indecision, right? Of sometimes you get overwhelmed by everything that's happening, or like all of the possibilities, or like all the things that are in front of you, right? And I think that very much fits with them as a group, right? Like their pocket when it comes to the ages of the members in this group, but also the demographic that they tend to appeal to have this feeling of overwhelm when you get into like your 20s, mid-20s. I say that as someone who is in their mid-20s, right? Where like you realize that like you have to figure out what you're supposed to be doing, right? All of the blueprint of what you're supposed to be following in your life is done. And now people are like, and now you live your life and you're like, until you retire. And I'm like, what? That's not, there's a lot of space there that I'm supposed to fill now. And they're like, yeah, you just figure it out. And I'm like, that's not helpful. So I feel like having that feeling of, I don't even know which decisions I'm supposed to be making. I don't even know what like the right choice is. I can't even enjoy the things that are going on in front of me with like my friends, or like the blessings, talking about things that are like great things that are going on, and I can't even enjoy them. And it's all, I feel like it's all slipping past me because I'm just like stuck in this place in my head of should I do this or that, or the anxieties, or it could be like depression, like I was talking, like dissociating, where like you don't even realize the time is passing by because you're just so stuck in place. And like leaving that open with this idea of like stupid brain of, I understand that like this doesn't make sense, and yet I keep following into this cycle, like I can't get out. I love this bass line. Good little descending cadence there. Beautiful little break in his voice there. Right? Like it feels like it's not finished.
Again and again, I need to let this go. I'm so sick of overthinking, never listen. Oh, why can't I just stop?
I do want you to stop, Kyo. I do want you to stop, because how dare you sound like that? Like, it just beautifully done. And I continue to have talent aggression. So we always go back for soul vocals. I also like that we're bringing in some of that stuff of like people staring, like thinking I'm weird. Like we had the earlier lyrics of I'm worried about what I'm saying and then what I'm feeling. So like those anxieties of, am I saying the right things? Am I doing the right things? What are people thinking of me? All of those ruminations that make it difficult for you to like get out of the place that you're in, because you're like, what if I don't choose the right thing? Or what if I don't do the right thing? Or what if people think it's stupid that I'm trying to do this, right? I really like that we're using this term of stupid, which is like maybe not, I don't know how to like best word that. It's like frustration. It's not even like this huge, big, devastating thing that's going on. I think that's why I like it. You're beating yourself up a little bit, but it's like you understand that this isn't like some kind of huge, catastrophic thing that's going on in your life that is causing all these problems. It feels like it should be an easy thing to get over, and yet it's one of the most difficult things, right? To be struggling with like your own head and the way that you're overthinking things or anxieties about things or whatever, and feeling like you're just tripping over your own feet. It's like talking, like falling again and again, right? I feel like I can't even get my feet under me. And yet I also feel like I should be tripping over something so small like this, right? Like it feels, I can feel like the frustration in using language like that of like stupid, right? So I think that it fits with that. We need to listen to soul vocals. We also need to listen to Kyo, because how dare he continue to sound like that? Unfair.
Why does everybody stare at me like that? Do I look too stupid? I'm running fast but falling down slowly. Again and again. I need to let this go. I'm so sick of overthinking, never listen. Oh, why can't
sounds so. Ooh, I like the vocals laid up.
Oh, and just let go for once in my life. Wish I could shut my stupid brain off sometimes.
Ooh. Wait, I don't want to interrupt, but I like that we continued some of it, right? Like we continue adding stuff in and letting go, right? Saying, I wish I could stop overthinking this. I wish I could stop like some of the perfectionism or like some of the like ruminating on stuff that I did in the past, right? Talking about like, why are people staring at me? Do they think I'm stupid? Like I'm worried about the things that I'm saying, right? I wish I could just let go of something and move on, right? Instead of having it weigh me down. And I was also thinking, because I talked about how, oh, having the typewriters like a little bit further back that we've been referencing like visually, but I feel like that might be like symbolic because we had the like computer before, right? The keyboard, which is a little bit more modern, but having the typewriter almost like being stuck back in time, right? Feeling like you're behind because they're talking about I'm running fast, but I keep falling, right? Like I'm falling slowly and I keep like tripping over my own feet. I feel like everything's slipping away from me no matter how much I try to hold on to it, right? So it's like feeling behind, feeling stuck. So I think that having something like a typewriter where you're like writing letters, and even that is like a slow way of trying to communicate with someone, right? It's like I want to be able to say all the things that are going on with me. I want to be able to like communicate with people. And there's like this barrier of I need to figure out what I want to say. I feel like I have to type it all out. I feel like I have to like then check it over. Then I have to like, if you like mail something, right? Like it feels like I have to take all these extra steps if I want to do anything instead of like just being able to do it. Like everyone else makes it look so easy. So I think that it might be like a good like symbol of that as well. Love just like how, again, slowed down this song is too. It feels like it's weighted down. And I think that's such a good way of doing the production to mimic what they're trying to talk about. The way that his voice breaks on Survive is so good. I like how the voices overlap. Ooh, sick. Okay, like I was saying, I like how we have parts like overlapping with each other with the vocals, but I also love that the way that the chorus fits into the verse is not always like consistent. So it feels like we're, like I was saying before, it feels like we're stopping in the middle of a sentence, and then now it feels like we're picking up halfway through a sentence. Like it feels, because they're starting at different points in the chorus, or the way that they're weaving in other lines and like the bridge there, that it feels like things are like cut off or almost like cut and pasted together, and it doesn't all make sense anymore. It makes sense, right? Like it sounds fine, it doesn't sound like choppy or anything, but I think that it fits with what they're trying to talk about, of like almost like editing yourself, or like trying to make sense of everything that's going on in your head, and like trying to communicate effectively. And I feel like I'm like starting in like the middle of a sentence, or I don't have time to finish my whole thought before like stuff has moved on. So I think that having this like not strict structure to the way that like it goes like first chorus, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, right? There's like a normal kind of structure for a song, and I feel like I can't even do that because everything's just like overlapping with each other, and things are crossing over and getting cut off and everything. So I think that's a good way of communicating it. And even just like the dunks up lines of I like there was the switch, turn like the switch off with Intalk, and then it was like there are like so many things like going on. Like I wish I could just like, again, like beating yourself up, and it's like my like little brain or something. It's like this should be such a small thing, right? This should be such an easy thing for me to overcome, and yet I keep like tripping on it, which is why I'm using like tripping. And I know that I don't think they use that specifically in the lyrics, but that's what it feels like. Like you're just like walking and everything's fine, and then you trip over something, and it's not like this huge thing you've crashed into, but it can like send you reeling, right? Like it's kind of like you miss like the last step on a staircase, right? You feel like your life's flashed before your eyes, right? And it like shakes you, even though it's such a little thing. It's, oh, I just missed the last step on the staircase. And yet it freaks everybody out. You feel like you just kind of had like the world pulled out from under you. So it feels like a little bit like that, really. This should be something easy. This should be something that I could just walk off. I could just like move on from, and yet I'm stuck here.
But just no matter where it's trying to get there to wait for some star. What I got, so many things in my head. My little brain just off. I'm pretty good, get missing, trying to make it better. I can't.
Yeah, like give me a sec, like give me a second to fix it. Oh, vocals. Even the instrumentation feels a little bit nostalgic, like I was saying before. Like it feels a little bit behind. Yeah. Like I was saying, like even like musically, even like there, it seems like we're like lining up the shots, like different member, but it's like we're in the same place we started, right? Like we didn't move on from one place to the next. I was just like looking at like the paper, like even like the paper crumpled on the table looks like almost identical, right? So it's like we didn't even move on from like this one place, right? We had one setting for the whole video and we like end where we started. And I think that's so symbolic of like how they feel stuck in this cycle, or like talking about how you wish you could just turn it off. You wish you could just move on. You wish you could just let go of something for a little bit, and yet you're still just stuck here, making you feel behind the times. Even just feeling like you have to work harder than other people, feeling like you're battling with your brain, so everything just takes more effort, it just takes more time. And even like Jung Sub's line of, if you just give me a sec, I can fix it, even though I can't. But I feel if you just give me like a little bit more time, I'll fix it and it'll be fine, and I could just like, keep moving. And it doesn't work out that smoothly. Feeling like you're fighting an uphill battle with your own brain is always like really difficult. And I think having something that very slow in terms of the vocal melodies that we were choosing, but also the instrumentation, right? This bassy sound that feels weighted down, feels like very slow in the delivery, and also feels a little bit behind the times, right? Like it doesn't feel like they're like obviously like modern elements, but there's definitely a little bit of a nostalgic lean to it, which is something that they're doing with this whole comeback. But I think it works differently in this. It's less of a like aesthetic thing and more of a feeling almost like you're always trying to catch up. Really pretty song with a bunch of the vocals. It does make me worried though, just because like as someone who also struggles with their brain, I have a lot of compassion for other people who also struggle with their brain. Really pretty song despite some of the subject matter in it, but also I feel like it didn't delve into anything like super dark. Some of that's like the universality that you want to have with a song, but I think it's also because it's not about like a catastrophe happening. Like I was saying, this isn't like crashing into something terrible happening and now you're struggling with something, right? There are moments in our lives in which we're struggling with something that's going on like internally, or like how we're feeling because something like terrible has happened that is causing that kind of big thing to happen. This is just like the day-to-day struggle of I feel like I have to fight my brain to do all of the like basic stuff, and I can't even like, be in a room with a bunch of my friends and enjoy it because I'm too busy like fighting with my own brain, even though I just want to be in this moment, right? I just want to be here in my life and enjoy it. So I feel like having something that's more understated, that's more just like about that like internal frustration with oneself fits with that vibe. Like it isn't about this huge thing going on. And I think that having these really beautiful melodies in the song, little like vocal runs and things thrown in, but it's nothing like crazy going on. I really like that they chose specific points to like layer up vocals because it felt like the chaos of like your brain, like a bunch of things piling up over top of each other, but it wasn't like anything crazy because again, it isn't about like this huge emotional response to something that's going on. It's like just like the frustration of like, why do I have to keep doing this? I do this every single day. I have to go through the same thing, struggling in the same way. How do I get out of this? I just wish I could like move on from this. I could let it go and I could move on. And I think that is a really complicated feeling to like communicate in a song, right? Like that feeling of frustration and yet almost like there's a certain like apathy to it at a certain point where you're just like, the only thing I can think of that would like solve this problem is if I could just turn off my thoughts for a second and then let myself just enjoy the moment. But I think they did a good job of like, incorporating some of that into this song, of even just like the fall off of some of it, like the just for one day, like having that fall off at the end of the phrase is almost like there's this little bit of a rise and then it all dampens down again. Feels a little bit like that kind of apathy or like resignation in some ways of, I just have to be stuck here for a little while. I'm saying a little while because I want to be optimistic. Again, as someone who struggles with their brain, there are better moments. I have the optimism that like there are moments in which it gets better and easier, and it's just part of that kind of cycle of being someone with like mental health stuff. But I hope you enjoyed listening to that along with me. You can click this playlist to go and see my previous reactions, or you can subscribe so next time I post a P1 Harmony reaction. I will see you in the next video. Bye.